Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. It is Youth Sunday, our special day, when we come together as a community here in the temple with those online this morning. Welcome to those joining us for the first time. I'm your host for this morning. Please join me in the opening affirmative prayer. God is all there is. We acknowledge its presence and power, conducting our Sunday celebration today. Its love fills us with insights as we share our prayers, songs, and thoughts today. Every idea that uplifts flows through Ifashani, our speaker today. We declare that it is good and very good as the law fulfills the desires of our hearts. Thank you, God. And so it is. Our spiritual reading today is shared with a spiritual practice taught by Centers for Spiritual Living. It is entitled, Now You See It, Now You Don't. Spiritual practice, mindfulness, looking through our spiritual lenses. My spiritual lenses. Our world is filled with confusion and confusing messages that may obscure the divine presence. Our practice this week is to view any perceived challenge through our spiritual glasses and see original harmony. When we do that, we are looking through eyes of spiritual quality that is our true nature. Thomas Troward, New Thought writer, suggested 7 spiritual qualities, which are our true nature: life, love, light, power, peace, beauty, and joy. As you go through your day and may have challenging experiences, put on your spiritual glasses and observe the situation through the eyes of divine truth and change that experience to original harmony. So every day, put on your spiritual glasses with this affirmation: through the eyes of spirit within me, I see life or love, whichever you choose. Please join me in the singing of the chant, Within, written by Uncle Steve. Thank you. We will now have a moment of silence. Welcome back. Please join me in the affirmation of divine love on page 2 and on the screen. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love rises, divine love adjusts, divine love prospers, divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for this church now. Divine love is now victorious, and so it is. And now for our praise song, I've Got the Joy in My Heart. It is on page 2 and on the screen. Please stand. He's got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy in my heart, down in my heart today. I am so happy,
so very happy. I've got the love of God in my heart.
down in my heart. I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of God in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I am so happy, so very happy. I've got the peace that passes in my heart. Down in my heart, I am so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of God in my heart. Please remain standing and let us say together the prayer of our center. The Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community, from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. Thank you. Please be seated. I will now light the candle on behalf of the youth. I light this candle on behalf of all the youth of the world. Let us behold the Christ in them.
And so it is.
Join me in the youth blessing. Oh, appreciate you.
Salute the Christ in you. Give her a shout. Night unto your word. God is blessing you now. And so it is.
And now for the mission song. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one with spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. nation. One spirit on a mission. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us. Anytime, night or day. Yay. And now for the announcements. Welcome. Do we have any first-time guests worshiping with us in person on this beautiful Sunday morning? Please stand so that our usher can place a sticker over your heart. If you are a first-timer online, welcome to our hearts. We behold the Christ in you. Our beautiful arrangements are evidence of this beauty inside our beloved Miss Faye Shuku, and the flowers contributed by our floral angels. Our gratitude, as always, Miss Shuku and our floral angels. The significant events schedule. Please refer to the flyer with significant events for details. However, here are items to note. Right after our morning celebration, all members, please stay behind and share in this wonderful milestone in the life of our community. You will either be casting your physical ballots for this very important unctuous offering, the position of Senior Minister to Reverend Michelle Singham, or we continue the search. Spiritual Mind Healing Service is on Tuesday at 6 p.m. with practitioner Steve Golding. If you really appreciate the message of truth, come and join practitioner Steve. The link is shared through your email. Join us on Wednesday afternoon at 5:30 p.m. for a regular monthly walk for the deepening of our consciousness of peace for ourselves and our nation. Carl Livingstone will facilitate the session. Come and share your insight after this very meditative experience. Have you set your intention to attend on October 27th, 2023, that wonderful spiritual immersion at Jewel Paradise Cove in Brentwood Bay, St. Anne? The cost is $465 in US per person for double occupancy and $678 in US for single occupancy, or its equivalent in Jamaican dollars. Transportation, class materials, and other gratuities at the all-inclusive resort are included. Please go to the office and make your deposit and set up a time payment arrangement. Our leader is Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, world-renowned author. You should not miss this. The theme is Create a Life of Abundance, filled with purpose and meaning. Come, play, awaken, deepen, grow, and learn to thrive at Jewel Paradise Cove. Our community surrounds the families of Miss and Eddie Polak, who recently lost loved ones. We continue to respond to all your requests for prayer. A practitioner is available to you immediately following our Sunday service. Practitioner Jennifer Livingstone is on duty today. The number to call is 876-289-0907. If you want to speak to a practitioner, please call 876-289-0907. Anytime from 8 a.m. to midnight, Monday to Friday. Pastoral counseling is available. Please call the office for appointments. Thank you for your generosity, for helping us to be a beacon of light in the world. If you wish to support our ministry financially, kindly visit our donate page at donate.templeoflightcsl.org. I repeat again, donate.templeoflightcsl.org in all lowercase, which has our banking details. Thank you, as together we support a world that works for everyone. This concludes the announcements. Please join in the first hymn, Oh What a Beautiful online program on screen for online congregants.
I awaken with joy and laughter, knowing this day is life's brand new chapter. In radiant splendor and wisdom I rise. With heartfelt thanksgiving I open my eyes. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Brand new pathways are opening before me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. trusting in spirit and God's changeless law to guide me with ease and with grace through it all. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling.
Everything's going my way. Thank you. Please be seated. Help me welcome to the podium this morning our special speaker, Ifa Shani Dehaney.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Afashani.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my speech is on my phone because I'm young and I use my phone for everything. So, all right. Good morning, everyone. Again, Auntie Anne had asked me to come and speak on showing up and kind of coming out of your box. Because recently I was part of, hold on, there's a hole in the stage and the heel is going through the hole. All right, I'm good now. So, I recently was part of the Miss Universe Jamaica East competition, which taught me a lot about coming out and showing up and showing out, which was one of our mottos while I was going through. So, what I'm going to do today is that I'm going to share some tips and just stuff I learned overall while I was part of that competition and just over the year from September when I joined UE and I started doing my bachelor's degree, like what I've learned in class, and doing the pageant and some other competitions that I've done throughout the school year. Slowly, as Auntie Anne has said. So, the first thing or the first tip I'd like to speak on is being yourself and embracing your truth. By this, I'd mean, do you know your story? When I was part of the Miss Universe competition, a lot of the girls that were there knew what they wanted to go in and tell the judges. There were lots of them that came in with stories about their childhood and how they grew up. Because for Miss Universe, a big part of it is your altruism project. You don't do talent pieces, you have to do charity. So you have to really know what your passion is going to be and where it comes from. So I realized while I was part of the competition that I didn't really know what my project would have been because I didn't really understand or know what story I had for myself as it relates to growing up and who I am and what really makes me Ifa Shani Dehaney. So that's something that I would suggest to everyone to try to do. What I've started is to journal. Journaling helps because at some points, you have little memories that you remember and then they fade away and you don't really understand their significance in the future. So when you journal them, you can always go back and look at it and say, okay, there's this memory that I have, and this memory has some significance because in this point of my life, maybe it came up because there's a lesson that I learned when I was younger that I can bring back. For one example is that I started to work with children recently as well as a preschool teacher, and there are just some things that I remember my mother telling me in high school that I used to be very rebellious about. And she was right. I had to tell her, Mommy, you were right. And I looked at her one night and I was like, Mom, I'm sorry for being so rebellious, but I get it now because you're hard of hearing and you're right. So that's, I'm sorry, my throat. Yeah. So that's one exercise I suggest. Another exercise I'd suggest is detoxing, which is probably more helpful for the youth, more wise persons in the audience. So detoxing would consist of basically putting down your phone and any form of technology for a couple of days or hours, right? So I started to do this probably when I was doing CSEC. So that was 2020. So I started taking little days where I put down my phone and I never went on YouTube or Instagram, and I just take the day to be tired. So I'd probably sleep out the whole day or read a book or journal or draw or something. I know that a lot of the wiser persons in the audience probably don't have a problem with this because you grew up without the technology anyway. So it is way easier for you to detach. I mean, however, there is one person in the audience that I know is on her phone just as much as I am, but I will not call names. But that is one thing that can help you because our mind moves very fast, especially us young ones. We have access to a whole lot of information, and we don't take that time to understand that we'll get burnt out, and we have to take the time to actually process what we're learning. That's why they changed GSAT to PEP, because you had to regurgitate everything that you learned, because you're just taking in the information without really understanding it. And by doing the detox, you give yourself at least some lag hours, almost like plain lag, to just process everything that's going on and understand everything that's going on. I've had times where I've had a detox and I probably just cry because I don't realize how stressful school was. Right? Somebody is shaking their head. They understand you is stressful, so stressful. And you don't understand how all the assignments pile up on you and how you've been pushing through for the semester and you don't give yourself a break. And I also realized that for myself this semester, whereas part of, I'm telling you all the stuff that I did this semester. Wow. Okay, so as part of CAC for a hall, and I basically was not home, and I did not sleep for days on end and weeks on end because I'm participating in school, I'm doing schoolwork, and I don't realize that I need to take a break until there's just one day that I just fall asleep and I don't wake up until the middle of the day. And I was like, oh, my day is gone. Note. So the last note in this first section, yes, I have 3 sections. Oh wait, it's not the last one. Okay, so the next note is sharing with friends and family. You need to understand who is on your team and who has your back and who is supporting you. Sometimes you don't realize who is in your corner until everything is crashing down, and then you have to genuinely look at who has been there for you. Grandma, thank you so much. Auntie Anne called me when I was on my way walking up here too, because she thought I was still asleep. I told Auntie Anne that I had work until 2 a.m. this morning. And Auntie Anne called me to wake me up and say, "Hey, it's wake up time." But I was already like right there. But thank you, Auntie Anne, for waking me up and calling me consistently. So those are 2 persons here so far that I can say thank you to. Among everybody else, because over the years you have helped as well. Kevani and Sebastian has been supporting me by coming to let me do their hair. So those are 2 other people I can say thank you to. So also take the time to acknowledge the persons around you. I'll also acknowledge my best friend who isn't here, who lent me this nice orange shirt so I could wear this morning. Right? So sharing with friends and family helps you to gather opinions. If you have a rough day, sometimes it's best to just vent. And there's no shame in just venting one day to somebody and telling them everything that's on your mind. And that's unfiltered venting. Like genuinely going to somebody and saying, this is a problem that I'm having, or this is how I'm feeling, and allowing them to share with you how they think that you can approach it or the other point of view. Even though you're looking at other person's point of view, and this is something I learned in psychology as it relates to the scientific method as you do research. You're going to be taking opinions from multiple persons. You have to publish a paper and you have to have multiple persons read it. You have to be open to new information, but you still also have to take in consideration all the rules of thumbs and prior knowledge that you know is true. So you can take opinions from your friends, but you can also take those opinions and look at yourself as you relate to your values and beliefs and decide which opinions you think is for you and which ones not for you. We're human beings. We're not going to take on to everything that we hear. But you must find support. Because one of my mottos is also, there's only so much you can do by yourself. I got that from a cartoon. And it is true. You can't do everything on your own. You can't lift the whole world on your own. So the next thing is, what are your values and beliefs? These are the things that you live by. You can express them in affirmations and sayings. So I found 3. I said one a while ago, which was mine. I'll share the other 2 that I know I've heard persons say consistently throughout my life. So for Auntie Carmen consistently said when she got upset or she didn't want to lose her temper, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I don't remember the rest, but that is the part she always said without fail. And sometimes I find myself saying it too, as me call her, that's what I say to myself. Because I couldn't call her.
She's in a better place.
All right, so the next one is what my mother usually says. She says, you have to be in it and you can't decline it if you're not in it. That's something she said to me every time I was considering going into a competition. That they recruited me for Miss Universe on my birthday. I said, Mommy, I don't really feel like I want to go and I don't think I want to do it. And every time I tell Mommy I have a doubt, she'd say, you can't be in it or you can't win it if you're not in it and you have to be in it to decline it. So I went and I tried and I got through. And I went, Auntie Anne came, I went all the way down to top 15, right? Thank you. So the next point, I think this one is the last 2 for now. For this point, what are the core parts of your life and what attachments in life do you have that add value to your being? This can be material or, as I said, affirmations that other persons have said around you, but you need to acknowledge the positive things in your life. Gratitude every morning, something like that as well. You can get up every morning and say, oh, I'm grateful for the opportunity to fix my mistakes, or I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to call such and such person on a day that I have a rough day. And just lastly, who are you? You need to take the time to learn who you are. And an exercise we had to do when answering the question, who are you, was that we had to acknowledge for Miss Universe training that who we are is not our achievements or our job or our wealth. Who we are is our core beliefs. So we had to introduce ourselves by name first. So my name is Ifashani Dehaney. Then you'd have to get into what you believe. And I think mine was, I'm Ifashani Dehaney. I am a people-driven person and I love connectivity. And other persons, they then start to share their job and career goals and their aspirations, which is also something you can do, because I actually hope that it would be a little exercise where you'd write, my name is, and then you fill in your name. I am, which is your beliefs and values. I advocate for, which is anything that you do in alignment with your beliefs and values. And because of this, I have done, if it's charity or whatever achievements you have in life that you'd like to acknowledge as one of your big core parts. Because some people's lives is their career, and nothing is wrong with that. You just have to acknowledge it in a positive way. So that is one exercise I'd like you guys to take away from this. So the next 2 points for this is understanding your boundaries and your comfort zone.